Hello and welcome back everybody to Let's Play 35 plus years of Advanced Squad Leader. As the people watching live will know, this is Monday. This is the 23rd of September. And also meaning that there's no game on this coming Saturday, unfortunately. But nonetheless, gonna try and enjoy a bit of a solo night. As always, Rob, I hope everybody is doing well. And anybody, again, if anybody is already in touch with them, please pass along the well wishes. Obviously, I've done so through Discord privately, but I'm sure he'll appreciate getting more support. Today's scenario is, as can be imagined in this time frame, a Finnish versus Russian scenario. However, this one, I believe, will have well, hopefully we'll have a far different result than what we've seen before, quote-unquote, time and time again. This scenario is rather special just because, one, it's a very small size. It also features some interesting concepts here, which we've seen before, but to reiterate, it has stuff like ground snow. The roads are plowed once and for all. Although I don't know how much that's going to affect things. Falling snow can occur on a wind change die roll of 10 or above. And there's a couple other things going on here. Namely, both sides set up simultaneously with the Russians going first afterwards. So you can't really figure out how one side is going to place their defenses. If someone goes aggressive, you might not have any way to defend against that. And I think it's something to... I don't know if applaud might be a little bit too strong of a sentiment, but it is nice to see that third-party developers do this sort of stuff. Speaking of third-party, this scenario is specifically from Heat of Battle, and even more specifically from their Firefights pack. I believe they have three Firefight packs. This is from the first one. As exemplified by being number 2, or scenario FF number 2. So yeah, unfortunately I can't really set up one versus the other without knowing, so I tried to do something that made some sense here. There's some restrictions in the setup. So first and foremost, the Finnish can set up concealed on or west of hex row 4, so essentially that gives them a decent area to set up in, whereas the Russians can only set up in hex row 9 or above. I guess technically this was below, but anyways. So you can get a little bit of distance with the Finns by setting up in 4 just because of how far it reaches out. But generally speaking, the Russians are very close to the board edge rather than anything else. ELR and SAN is kind of what you'd expect for this time and place. The Russians have an ELR of 2 and a SAN of 2, which is really bad, whereas the Finns have a lovely ELR and SAN of 4 apiece. Now, before I screw this up like last time, let's make sure I have the correct numbers here. Perfect. So there's a couple other things to point out here. First off, both sides have variable reinforcements that will come in. Both of these are done as a pre-game dice roll, so you roll without your opponent seeing, or presumably without your opponent seeing, and then you get what you rolled. So for the Russians, they can get either an HMG with a crew, a 458 with an LMG, and a 90 Commissar. They could get an OT-133, which is a T-26 with a flamethrower, or 2 T-26 M33s without any machine guns. On the Finnish side, they can get either a 248 half squad with an LMG, 2 338 half squads, or a 338 half squad with a 90 leader. So there's a lot of variability here, which I think is lovely, especially in a small scenario like this. You can you really get to feel a sort of speed that you don't necessarily get out of other scenarios just because they're very large, and the variable aspect of it really changes things up, so it makes it so that replaying the same scenario can have widely different things. For example, I rolled an 11, I believe it was, so I got 2 tanks, if you run a scenario, if you play this again and you don't get any tanks whatsoever, the Finns start with an ATR. Well, the ATR doesn't really feel as useful at that point. It's still, one firepower, which is still nice, but again, it's one of those things that is rather important. A couple other things here, just before we get on the road with this. The Finns have Molotov cocktails and winter camouflage. So winter camouflage really only works at long distance, at least in this scenario, because there's no night rules or anything in place. They also, I missed that part. 2 units may set up using hip, which I didn't do. But I did for 1 unit, but I didn't do for the 2 freebies you get. I don't really think it's necessary, to be honest. You can kind of sucker people in, I guess, but considering the map, which this is board FF-02, I believe, so it goes well with the scenario. I don't really think that there's a great spot to hip, because the hip units would have to set up within this area, the 4, hex row. The Finnish 149 hero, they get 1. If alone and without a support weapon, may set up using hip anywhere on the map prior to all other setup. This is very important and something to keep in mind, because, well, you could technically set up, a Finn in M10 or whatever that is. It's probably not a hex that would be occupied. Same thing with like A10. They're just kind of out there. Now, granted, there's positives and negatives to this. I put them in the building because it's objective related, and essentially, the Finnish hip hero may remain hip even if there are Russian units set up in the same hex, or if Russian units enter that hex without searching or mopping up, provided the hero is alone in the hex, even if in open ground. So, I'm just going to play it as not searching or mopping up anywhere, mostly because I don't think I would remember to do this, and I haven't really ever bothered to do it. But it is rather interesting that you could technically have a hero be in the same starting hex as something else, and if you guessed right and you end up in, say, the Russian mortar hex, then you can immediately put that out of action, especially if the mortar unit is alone and doesn't have like a leader to help him out, because it's just typically you would put the mortar with a 127 crew, which is one of the things you get, because you wouldn't want to have a 426 or a 447, which are both available in this scenario, kind of being weighed down by that. And there's nothing else to really give the 127. So other than that, the only other important thing to note here is that on a final heat of battle die roll of 9 or above, Russian squads will deploy into 2 half squads instead of going berserk or surrendering. Russians may freely deploy 1 426 MMC prior to play. Now, the 426 is the conscript squad. I don't really care to ever deploy as the Russians, but just to give an idea, the 426 would turn into a 226. So you don't lose that much. You do get a little bit of mobility, I guess, and like you can separate them and go other places, which is all right, but not really the end all be all. Lastly, one thing to note is that extreme weather is in effect. So essentially, extreme weather will affect the both sides, I believe. The breakdown number and elimination number of all weapons except DC decreased by the following amounts during extreme winter. So pre-April 1941, the breakdown and elimination number for the Russians is reduced by 1. And pre-1942 Axis, it's by 2. Now, there is an exception. The Finns aren't affected by this, so it's really just the Russians that have to worry about this. Additionally, in addition to normal fate rules, so if you roll a 12 on a morale check, or on a rally, I should say, any non-Finnish Axis personnel unit prior to April 1942 or prior to April 1941 for the Russians, that makes an original rally die roll 11 or greater, while not in a building or pillbox during extreme winter, suffers casualty reduction. So it's not just 12s, it's 11s and 12s. Kind of like booby traps in a way. Like you reduced the dangerous number there. There's entrenching and whatnot. I don't think we're going to have anything else that really applies. Um, and lastly, the objective for our scenario today is to win. The Russians must control at least 4 of the 5 buildings at scenario end. So I effectively have control of 3 of them with the Finns. Yeah. So we shall begin. Weather has no change. We go to rally phase, of which I have nothing I want to do. We'll go to prep fire phase. And I think I'm going to immediately start opening up here. Even though it's a little dangerous. Well, it opens me up to some return fire, but I'm not actually sure what the line of sight is like on this upper right area. So I'm not going to bother with it. I am going to begin my log file, because it's probably a good idea I do that. But I'm going to take a shot across the bow, so to speak, and hit the units in D4. So it's just a straight shot. Range is 9. There shouldn't be anything really else to it. There is a +1 for the winter camouflage. I had to think about that word for a second. And yeah, so at a 9 range, area fire, I need a 7 no matter what. There'd be a +1, I believe, just for the winter camo. I don't think there's anything else that applies. So it's a miss no matter what. I do have rate of fire, which is nice. I guess you should get it for area fire. I wouldn't get it if I was shooting infantry target type. Another bonus here is that yeah, there would be an extra +2 for shooting at a hex with concealed units. But nonetheless, I will shoot a second time, not get anything, and that will be it for prep fire from that guy. And this will flip to 2. Delete that. I don't really think I have anything else I want to shoot with. I kind of just want to take my time here. Secure some buildings as quick as possible, and then, you know, make my way further in. So first things first, G9 is going to assault move to G8. I don't actually know if I would remain concealed. Actually, you know what? I don't think I would, because I think these guys might see him. Yeah. So I would reveal the 238. These guys lose concealment no matter what, not regain it. Now I have an interesting question here. That is a 238. Oh, a thing I should point out too is that the Finns only have half squads in this scenario. Like, no matter what, they only have half squads. I guess technically you could probably recombine if you set up that way. But yeah, I kind of like that they don't have that overpowered feel to them, because the big squads are pretty dangerous. Now, again, 238. You know what? Because I'm already being shot at, and these guys are going to want to move anyways, I'll take that shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's a 1 down 1, I believe. No effect. No residual either, which is fine. Now that guy's shot, I think I will do... I could do 1, 2. I'm kind of worried about what's in C3. I think let's do with a slightly easier thing here. So I'm gonna have N9 is just gonna normal move, so they'll go to N8 for 2. And then I'm gonna have the conscript squad, go by itself to N7 for 3. I've got... I'm going to take a shot with 238 in P3 first. We'll see what I can get out of this. It's not blocked, which is nice. What was the range on that? 5. So it's a it's 1 down 2. 7 on 1 is nothing. I'm not doing well so far. And then, oh, you know what? I can't gain control with the leader. That's correct. Dang, I didn't think about that. You know what? He'll continue to M8. So he's paying his 3 to get there. And then 4 to M7. And let's open up with this guy. 03, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That I believe is just a 1 down 2. Yeah. 1 down 2. 3 on a 1 is a 1 morale check. And later breaks. That's unfortunate. But I've gotten these two guys to shoot, which is nice. You know what? I'm going to try and be a little silly goose here. So I'm going to have 09 declare CX. They're going to lose concealment no matter what, but they'll pay 2 to get into N9, 4 to get to M9, then 5 into L8, and I would probably... I think I would take that shot just in case, because I don't know if that's a clean shot or not. It might be. That is not a clean shot. No, that for sure hits that corner. So that is blocked, unfortunately. Do IFT. It was leader directed. I don't have rate either. And I'm going to have to also lock in my cover dark. But hopefully people can understand when they look at this why that would be a worthwhile shot to take. Because that would have may not killed him. It would have been a, what was it, a 4 on 5? But a 1 morale check or something would be pretty useful. But yeah, not going to happen. So then they'll continue to L7 for their 6. I don't think there's anything else I can really try here that's worthwhile. So I'm not going to bother. Over on the left, I'm going to have stack with the leader in B9 is going to declare CX. They'll go 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't think anybody can see them. And then stack in C9 with the 6-1 leader will... they only have 7 movement points. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because I'm going to go in balls to the wall here. And these guys are in a final fire. Or subsequent, I guess. It's going to be a 2 flat. 5 on 2 normal morale check, which is not great. Leader breaks. Squad breaks. And other guy breaks. Now, it was a normal morale check. So this guy can't ELR. So he'll be disrupted. Oh, they'll all disrupt. Alright, cool. That's not good. So they will all be disrupted. That is real not good. Okay, well, since that happened, do I want to try and rush him? Probably not. I think I'm going to have the guy in F9 is going to lose his... Oops. Going to lose his concealment. He'll go to G9 and then G8 for 2. I don't think anybody can really hit him. And then that will be it. Defensive fire phase. I don't think there's anything extra I can do, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't think there's much else I can really do. So, advanced fire phase. These guys are all broke, which is terrible. I don't think I have any. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can only do it with the squad, the 447. They'd be halved twice. I could do a 2-up-1. Sure, I'll do a 2-up-1. No, okay. Routes. Now these guys, I believe. Ooh, do they all have to go as a stack? Oh, that I don't remember. Or do they all surrender as a stack? Or is it one at a time? I need to go to prisoner rules. Stack at the instant. Yeah, okay. So we go to... where does it say that a stack has to surrender together? Any broken infantry unit adjacent, unable to route away, subject to interdiction, blah, blah, blah. We're not talking about that. Simultaneously, it must be accepted as a stack. All right, cool. So I guess, yeah, like, I don't see why you wouldn't reject it. Is there already no quarter in effect? That is a big question. Where is no quarter? Oh, you know what? They might have it in the charts. Do they have no quarter in, or, yeah, that in the charts? Concealment, no. Nope, not looking for that. Because if no quarter is already in effect, which I don't think it is when it's Finnish versus Russian, I don't see anything in here that says it is. So yeah, they'll reject it as a stack. So these guys all just blow up, which sucks because I was kind of banking on overrunning this guy in D4. Well, we can get rid of this and that. Now this leader does have to try and route. I think if he goes here, can these guys see him? That's clean. Damn. That also, that's... Is there a way for... Oh, you know what? If I route here, then he's fine. He doesn't have to be interdicted there. Yeah, okay. So he has to route through there. And then we'll continue into N8. That's 3. You know what? I'll continue to N9 for 5. That's it for routes. Then we shall take moves off. Yeah, let's do this guy there. And these guys here. These two guys go into the building. These guys in the building. These guys in the building. So that gives me 3 of the 5 buildings. Well, presumably, because again, don't know that this hip guy's there. Change label BVP. Cool. All right, next up we go CC phase. There's none. Finns turn 1. They get their reinforcements, which I rolled for 2 3 half squads. I might have to put them over on this side just to keep them busy in the woods. So maybe that's what I'll do. This guy and this guy. Did I do weather? I don't think I did. Weather is a 10, which means falling snow is now in effect. Falling snow is E 3.71. Where do we go? What's in 3.71? I believe it adds like a 1 LV. If a wind change equal or above 10 occurs while it's already snowing, the intensity goes. So if falling snow occurs on a 10. Okay, so it's not falling snow yet. It starts now. Falling snow automatically causes mist, and then it intensifies. Gotcha. Okay. So now there is falling snow, which I got to try and find this counter for it. Weather. Where is... is it this one? Yeah, it might just be mist. Okay. Because it does say cause mist in a 3.32, which it should just be a mist is +1 at ranges equal or above 7 range. So there's no hindrance automatically at extreme ranges. Well, extreme for this scenario at the very least. That's it for the rally phase. Outside of a self rally, nope, didn't get it, but the end comes off. I think that's everybody. So we'll go to prep fire phase. I don't need this covered arc anymore. Now it is a 5-turn scenario, so and the Finns go last, so I'm not really in a rush to grab any buildings, especially since I could grab them later. Um, but I do have a couple things I want to do. This would be a 2-up-1. It's not really that great. So I think I'll move away with this guy. I want to get the machine gun to shoot at the guys in L6, because why not? Range is 4, which is fine. It's a 5-up-1. 10 doesn't do anything either way. I don't... Did I get rate? No. Cool. I could come 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna remove... Is it worth it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. I'm gonna remove the concealment off the crew. I guess technically I could have deduced it anyways, but so 1 firepower, 1 firepower, 2 against this guy, so 4 firepower up 2. No. Cool. Like I said, I don't really need to rush over there, so I think that's fine. I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4. I could do a 2-up-2 leader directed. Might as well, I guess. No. Movement phase. I'm just going to have these guys assault move back. I'm going to try and get them with these guys. So these reinforcements will come in for 2, 4. 2, 4. And then I can form a nice little defensive line there. Defensive firepower. Defensive firepower phase, or fire phase, I should say. I'll do a 2-up-1 against P3. They will cower twice, which means it goes off board. Doesn't trigger sniper, so at least there's that. Mortar is going to take a shot at... come on. D3. That... I think that just touches 1. So that is... It's got to be like range 10 by now, I think. Yeah, range 10. So there's a +3 on that, I believe. We'll do 2 hit. No. But I do have rate. I have rate a second time. And I will not get a hit on the third one. I think I'm going to have to skip. I might have to move this guy or do something else with him. The units in G7 are going to take a shot at the guys in G3. So that is going to be a 8-up-2. 7 on 8 is a 1 morale check, I believe. Leader is fine, and this half squad is pinned. Not really favorable either way. These guys have nothing to shoot at. And, I mean, I guess I can do a 6-up-3. No. And that will eliminate the LMG. So things are going very poorly. Advanced fire phase, none. Routes. I don't think anybody broke, so we can take off prep and defensive. Yeah, nobody broke. Nobody needs to route. Advances. I think do I want to... No, I can keep them there. It's not that dangerous. Advances. I'm going to have this crew with the ATR move back 1. So I get a better line of sight on this road. That'll be it. CC, none that I care to do, although it'd be funny to do one. We go to turn 2 for the Russians. They finally get their tanks on board. So I'm going to have them come in on the road, because I think that's the only real thing to do here, if I'm being honest. Rally phase. Leader does not come back. I don't lose him to fate, but it's not looking good. I don't have any other actions to do, so we'll do prep fire. It's kind of an opposite problem for... Well, opposite thing for the Russians. I don't need to rush this building in K3. And I have control of the building, so I can just sit there for a while and try to plink away. Which plink away I shall. So, squadron in N6 is going to do a 2-up-1. They will cower twice again, so it'll do nothing. This is the second time that's happened, which is unfortunate. L6, 4-up-3, nothing. Technically, I should have done the mortar first. I will shoot the mortar. Nope. No rate either. I think I'm going to advance these guys into, like, this woods or something. If I can get, maybe if I get K3, and just start pummeling K3, maybe. Yeah, I kind of only want these guys to move. These guys are fine where they are, and they will shoot at G3 again. So it's a, it was an 8-2. Cool, that's another LMG gone. Man, okay. Movement phase tanks start in motion, so I will just have them move. The roads are plowed. Now, if I remember correctly, plowed should prevent any like major issues with the vehicles. We'll check here. Weather plowed. Minimum road entry is 1. Both effects apply even in... Yeah, okay. And they have to... All non-tracked vehicles, yeah, expend 1 extra. I only have tracked vehicles, so yeah. It's really just... It's not deep snow, right? Deep snow's not an effect? No. Yeah, so basically, I think it's just infantry would get like a road bonus or whatever at the end of it. But I don't have to worry about the tanks. So they will start their move. So 1, 2... I guess technically I should have had maybe this tank go that way, but whatever. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, hey, 6, 7. Hmm. 8. And as I turn, I'm gonna have this ATR shoot. Dang, I'm not sure if this is clean. It is. Okay, I was a little worried there. So the ATR is gonna shoot. It's a hit and rate, which kind of sucks. Now, what's that gonna give? So armor is that? Did I hit turret? I did hit turret, and that's improved. So it's 2 armor on the side for the turret. 20 L ATR. Is there a... I think it just doesn't have long range is the thing. So it has a 6. Range is 4. Just gonna be a +1. So the 2 kill is a 7. The armor buffs that to the roll to a 9. So it is no effect. And then I will continue to so this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm here for 9. ATR is going to take a second shot. I'm going to shoot at the other tank. It'll be another hit, no rate. And that is a hull hit. That's going to be equal on an ATR, which counts as direct, which is immobilization. So it is immobilized. I was going to stop the tanks anyways, so it's not really the worst result possible. But now these guys are stopped, and this guy is fired. And that'll be it for the tanks movement. And I think CX comes off these guys. Same with over here and here. And yeah, I think my plan here is going to be assault move to D4. I might as well do a 1 up 1. Leader directed's not going to do anything. And then these guys will also assault move, and I will have this guy reveal, and the green squad will also shoot. So it'll be a... what is it? 6, 4, 10, have to 5. So 5 up 1. Nothing. So these guys are fine. Mark these. Okay, defensive fire phase. Now, defensive fire phase, I got some options here. I don't think I'm necessarily worried about the tanks yet. I think what I'll do is I'll have the machine gun shoot at L6. It'll be a 5 up 1. 8 on 5 pin test check. They are fine. Although I guess it doesn't really matter. I do have rate of fire, so I'll shoot again. Up 5 up 1. No wait, exception rank. They get the exception. Okay, and didn't get rate. So that will be it for that. And then yeah, I'm gonna try. I don't have the. I mean, I might as well. 3 up 2. No. Okay, advanced fire phase. I don't know if I actually want to advance fire phase. I think I want to try and get in on concealed and try to mess these guys up. The tanks could shoot, but the breakdown 11, extreme weather might actually reduce that further. Or is it just support weapons? Extreme. All weapons, yeah. Especially if the odds are so low anyways. I don't really feel like trying it. So I think that'll be that. Routes, I don't think anybody's broken. Nope, still got that one leader. Advanced phase, mortar's going to advance. Anytime now, thank you. We'll take this and move it over. I don't need these guys to advance. These guys aren't going to advance yet either. Although we'll probably won't need to move them starting next turn. I will advance over here and try to get some CCs going. Hopefully I can have some success. And then CC phase, we got 2 of them. So we'll do the right one first. D3, we've got ambush rolls, so Russian Finns. The Russians have a -2 for being concealed, so they aren't ambushed themselves, but no effect essentially. It's a 2-to-1 for the Russians. I don't think there's anything else that can really apply here. Early war doctrine doesn't apply, so I don't have a penalty to CC against the Russians. So I'm just going to roll a 2-to-1 for the Russians. Not enough. And the 1-to-2 fails on the Finnish side. Over in C3, same thing. Ambush roll. So Russians, Finns. Russians get a -2, so they will ambush. It is a 5-to-3 or 3-to-2. And then we'll get a -1. Which will be enough to eliminate them, because that is a casualty reduction. That's the first Finnish unit I've eliminated. Yeah, alright, cool. So they retain their concealments, which is pretty nice. Not great for the Finns, but yeah. Alright, that'll be the end of turn 2 for the Russians. For the Finns, we've got weather check, no change. Actually, does that change falling snow? There is something with falling snow here. Wind change 3 or less. Got it. Okay, so there is no wind or weather change or whatever. Can I increase this to 125? Perfect. That's a little bit better. Cool. So, rally phase, the weather didn't change, which is great. We'll try to self-rally with the Russians. They'll get it, finally. I don't have any other rolls to make, so we'll go to prep fire. ATR is going to try its luck. That might still be a hit. I think it's exactly a hit, because it just needs 10. And there's no minuses or anything. So yeah, I think that's a hit. 2 kill is not enough. Yeah, so they're prep fired. Now I'm kind of worried about these tanks. So I think I'm going to have the machine gun in K3 shoot at the tank in I4. Definitely a hit. 2 kill is not enough. I don't have rate of fire either. So that's them prep fired. Yeah, I think this is not looking great. Although, to be fair, the Finns don't have to do anything other than defend. So, maybe the idea is, yeah, prep fire, whatever. Movement phase. I'm going to have the guys in B2 assault move to B3. Only reason for this is that if they break, I can have them run further down. It seems, or at least, like, I could have CX'd them 2, 4, 6. Maybe try to get into this building, but I don't think it's worthwhile. On the flip side, 248 in 03 is going to go 2, 4 into N1 and 2, 4 into 02. I'm trying to shift them over to M2 and N2 without getting shot. I don't care about reoccupying this at all. These guys are kind of in a pickle. I don't really know if there's anything I can do. I could try to send the squad over and try to help out D3, but I think that's just giving up G3, and that's kind of very important right now, so I think they're just going to wait. Defensive fire phase. The Russians don't really have any options anymore, so Mortar is going to shoot at building in K3. I don't know what the range is on that. That might be actually a hit. Range is 7, so there's a +1 for weather. I believe the winter camo doesn't apply because they're in a building. So it just bumps it up to a 6, and that is within the requirements. IFT is no effect, but I do have rate, so I will shoot a second time. I will also get another hit. IFT is nothing. I have rate, and then I will eliminate the does it eliminate it? Because break is normally, yeah, no, I think that eliminates it. All right, well, just if you roll 12s on everything, you solve your own problems. 4 up 2. 7 pin test check. Leader's pinned. Crew is not. I don't think that's gonna matter, but still. 6 up 2. Nope. Almost wish I'd done it the other way around. These guys can't advance, so you know what? I will take that chance. I'll take a 4 up 1. Oof. 4 on 4 is 1 morale check. And these guys will break. Alright, well, that solves a lot of problems. This is starting to turn into a Russian victory here. Tank in J4 is going to shoot at the building in K3. That should be a hit because it's only... Oh, no, wait, I'm off by 1. Am I? Ordnance to hit. Infantry, I need an 8. There's a +2 for the building, first and foremost. I am point blank range, so it's the -1. There's +1 for button up. Is there any other modifier? No. So I think I will hit just on exactly the number I need. IFT, man, I'm starting to roll really well for the Russians here. That is a 5 on 5, which is a 1 morale check. And, no, right. Sorry. This counter. 1 morale check. Fine. And broken. So the crew is broken. Yeah, okay. Tank in I4 shoots at the other group. It's going to be the same result. Actually, I need to put link these. Link these. So it's going to be the same result here. No rate, but still hit on 5. 8 on 5 is a conditional task check, so pass and pass. All right. So yeah, I think things are really starting to look to be going the Russians' way, which is not great. Defensive fire phase. Is there anything else? No. Advanced fire phase. I don't have any. Routes. Well, I get to do my plan, I guess. 2, 4, 6. Ooh, no, they could still, they're fine. Take off this. Anything else? I don't want to route these crew guys away. It would be a really bad idea. So I think I'm just going to go to advance. ATR guy is going to move to L1. These guys are both going to go to the tree line. That's it. CC, there is only 1 on a 1 to 2 finish. Nope. Russians will get a kill. Yeah, this is not, this is getting very close to being called, to be honest. Pins will come off. We'll go to the end of turn, so turn 3 for the Russians. Weather, no change. They got their leader back, which is fantastic, because now I can use these two guys to come into this building. Finns, I'm going to try the rally in the building first. Fuck. That didn't happen. And self-rally in B6? Nope. Okay. Does that extreme... Because that's 2 11s. Fate... Any non-Finnish Axis personnel. Yeah, okay. So basically, if it wasn't for Finns, they would have lost those two guys. DM will come off on both. That's it for rally phase. Prep fire. Tank 1, J4. 2 hit. It will break the gun. Does it hit, though? I don't believe so. So it'll break the gun. Bummer, but still. Tank in I4, same idea. Definitely a hit. That might actually be a critical. So I need... My 2 hit number is an 8. There, mouse going crazy. My 2 hit number is an 8. I rolled a 3. There is a +2 for the building. +1 for button up. So that brings it to a 6. I think I need less than, not equal. If I need less than, because I can get -1 for range, and then -1 for acquisition, which brings me down to a 4. But I think it's below, so I won't get a critical, but still. 5 on 5, and I get rate of fire, which is fantastic. So 5 on 5, 1 morale check. Leader first. Leader breaks. Half squad also breaks. I have rate, so I will shoot a second time. I won't get a hit. No rate. That'll be it for these guys. Yeah, I think this might be game. How do I... Because I'm going to have the 447 go up. This 447 is going to go up. These guys will chase this guy. Is there anything else I need to do in prep? No. So, in the movement phase, 447 in, was it D3 goes to E4 for 1. Nobody can really shoot at them. Like, I can shoot the ATR, but shooting the ATR is a real big waste. So, no. They'll go to F3 for 2. Can't really do anything else. These guys will just spend 6 movement points. So, 2, 4, 6. DM these guys. The 447 is going to go up. So, 1, 2, 3... 4. I need this crew to shoot the ATR. And I get this as a shot? That to there. No, there's no way. If I didn't have if I wasn't moving these guys afterwards, I would take that shot, but I don't think it's possible. Speaking of, 426 can assault move to M7. I don't think there's a shot I want to make there. Crew is going to go to N7 for 1, then 2, 3 into N6. Leader will kind of follow, so 2, 3, 4, 5. This squad in L6 will go to K6 for 1. Normal move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. 2. And I think I need to wait, so 3. Then these guys will fire, just so I can get the 4. So 4 down 2. That's okay. 3 on 4, 2 morale check. They will break and ELR. So kind of saving grace there, at least. These guys are still DM'd because I did get adjacent to them. And I don't think there's anything else for movement. Defensive fire phase. So ATR in L1 is going to shoot at the operable tank. To hit is a hit. No rate. No effect. So these guys are fired. I don't have anybody else that can shoot. I will reveal the hero. It'll be a 2 up 1. But these guys are now immediately in CC. Yeah, advanced fire phase. I mean, there's no advanced fire phase I need to do. I guess I could do a 4 up 1. Nope. Yeah, nothing else to do. Okay, routes. Attack her first. I've got 1, which is very unfortunate because I don't know if he can survive. Nearest I can get to is this. Does that get me closer to this guy? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So I need to route to L4. He'll take a morale check. Passes. I kind of wish there was a thing there you could do. So he survives interdiction. Since I'm going to get closer to this guy, I'm going to move to N6. So I'll get to M5, be safe. N6, I don't get interdicted. And then into N6 final. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That's it from those guys' routes. This guy gets to continue routing, so he'll go down to 6. Or to B9 for 6. These guys have to surrender. And I'm just going to deny it from the Russian side. Because they have to surrender as a stack. Yeah, so no quarters now in effect on both sides. Which I guess technically I should have put a counter on there. But infantry, heat of battle. No, prisoners, no quarter. Allied and Axis. Cool. So that happened. This guy doesn't have to route. And that's it. Advances. I'm just going to have both units go in the building for now. That'll get me the... Well, technically now I'm at 3. Because this would reveal that they would have had control. I get into L6 to confirm. These guys can continue going down. And that is it. We'll go to CC phase. There's only one. So it is a 4-1. That might be something. 4-1 casualty. So they will take a wound check. The hero is a 1-4 down 1. So wound check. He's dead. Okay, well, I think I can call it here. I don't think there's a world in which the Finnish get to rush any building and survive for 2 turns. Because if let's try to fast play it here. So Finns turn 3. At least we can get halfway here. So they will try to rally. 10 building and leader will be successful. So the MMG is back online. They'll try to self-rally, which I guess I should have done first. Yeah, I should have done first, because then this wouldn't count. But whatever, we'll just go play through it. They will surrender. Oh wait, no, because they're flat. So is that still surrender? Heat of battle, 11. They will go berserk. They can't see anybody, which means they go fanatic. Okay. Alright, so prep fire phase, ATR, tank. I think that's a hit, barely. 5. It's a turret, so it's equal. Range is enough for +1. 20L is a 6, which bumps it up to a 7. +2 for the armor brings that to a 7. That's a shock. So those guys are shocked. Which sucks, but, I mean, not really the end. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do repair. Didn't repair. So those guys are shocked. Not the end of the world, but it does suck. Vehicle, bad things. Nope, shock stun. There you go. So those guys are shocked. I did not roll well enough for rate of fire, so no rate. Machine gun, there's 2 options here. I think I'll go with G3, so it's a 5 up 1. Nope. No rate. And then I need to get some movement going. I didn't roll for this guy either. I'm just being a dork here. Cool. Yeah. That's it for prep. Movement. Wait, so if I CX. Yeah, let's try CXing. I'll CX 2, 4, 5, 6. That really is like the most I can do. These guys will shoot as a 8 down 2. 6 on 8 is a 1 morale check. They are 100% fine. I guess I will 1, 2, 3, 4. Nah, I'd rather save it for the building or something. What else to do in movement phase? I mean, I guess I'll have the greens go 1. Do I want to shoot here? No. 2 and then 3. Then I'll take 4 down 1. 4 on 4. 1 morale check. They are pinned. There would be a 2 residual. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 down 2. Fuck. Okay, well, 1 on 2 KIA. Yeah, I think that's kind of it. These guys would be re-DM'd, which I was hoping for. Defensive fire phase, 8 up 2. 7 on 8, 1 morale check. Leader is pinned. And crew breaks. Fuck. Yeah, that's not... I don't really know what you do at this point outside of that. Advanced fire phase, I will do 3 up 3. Nope. Routes, none. Again, I'd have to drop the machine gun. Really don't want to do that. So, yeah, I'm not going to risk it. Advances, try this. This guy can advance. And ATR is good where he is. CC phase, there's 1 CC, ambush, finish, Russians. They are stealthy, I believe. If they're stealthy, they will survive this. I say survive. They won't get punished for that. Finns are stealthy unless green. Yeah, okay. So they are stealthy. The reason why that's important is that stealthy gives a -1. And the Russians have a +1 for being lax. Because conscripts are always lax. So yeah. So they will barely be saved of their problems. It is still a 1 to 2 for the Finns, with a +1, so nothing, and then a 1 to 1 down 1, which is a kill, and that is game. Because there's no way to assault any position at this point. If I, like, with everybody pinned outside of a crew, we'll take the pins off. Weather, no change, and then rally phase actions. So Russians will try to rally the squad, or is that squad? Yeah, squad. They won't get it. That's fine. They'll try to unshock the vehicle. No, just an unknown kill. And then repair. No. And then Finns will get to rally the crew, which, like, okay. We go to prep. 8 up 2. Just when you need it. 2 morale check. Leader breaks. And this guy also breaks. And that is game at that point. Like, I don't know how you... How do you recover from that? I could do a 4 up... Or 4 flat. Pin test check. They're fine. A little bit of a bummer that the pin test check didn't work. But, like, okay. So now I go to movement phase. These guys will CX. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna try. The crew is gonna shoot. It's a 1 down 2, I believe. No, because the tank will provide a +1. So it's a 1 down 1. which is a 6, so nothing happens. It's not a Pentash check, which is the only thing I could have hoped for, really. They will get to J3. These guys can declare CX 1, 2 for the road, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now it's like, okay, well, I guess technically when these guys get there, I'll do a 2 down 2 on the leader and squad. So that's a 4 on 2. 4 on 2, 1 morale check. Leader first. Leader's fine. Squad is fine. Yeah, that's now they're just absolutely hosed. Defense fire phase. These guys have already shot. Everybody's already shot. Crew didn't survive. Advance fire phase. Don't need to do anything. Routes. These guys have to get out. I don't think there's a single... Is there a single spot they can go that's not... Well, yeah, they're not interdicted. But... So, presumably they can make the M2 as an example. Because I don't think they can be seen. So, routes happen. Then we do advances. Everybody in this stack gets into the building. And no CC. Now turn 4 for the Russians. Or Finns. And now it's like, okay, well... Even if the Finns rally, these guys can watch these hexes. These guys watch, obviously, all their hexes. These guys can still cover up to adjacent. And it's just a half squad that's stranded. Which as soon as I shoot from K3, if I take even if it's just the conscripts shoot at them, and then I take a shot with the crew, that'll encircle them, and then they have to pay 2 to get out. So they can't even... You can't really run to this building even if you wanted to. So yeah, I think that's it for the Finns. Yeah, I think I got just one. I was really unlucky with the Russians with regards to that big stack that all got eliminated for because they all they all missed their ELR, so all disrupted, and then all were eliminated together. Yeah, and then the Russians were unlucky on the flip side by losing basically all of their support weapons. Tank lost its main gun, but not before getting an effect, which was really good. Yeah, tough one to call. I mean, the Finns, I think once you start losing anything, that's pretty much it. Like, they're kind of... you're not really helped by it. Maybe I was too aggressive in the woods on the left side. That's entirely possible. Yeah. I mean, controlling 3 buildings from the get-go is really nice. Maybe I should have... maybe what I should have done, I probably would have been smarter if I'd said, this guy, if I'd had the... Yeah. Okay, so if I do it again, if I were to play this snare again, I think I'd still have the machine gun here. I'd have the hero in L6, and then as soon as you get to L7 or M7, the hero just takes a shot. Like, the machine gun can cover everything else. It just can't hit L7, I believe, is the only thing it can't do. Yeah. The only thing it can't do is L7. So if you have the hero in L6, you can bump. So you can have the unit try to get bumped, immediately get slotted to L7, kills all their movement, and you get to shoot at them with a 2 down 3, which, it's not amazing odds or whatever, but it's better, absolutely better than nothing. Yeah, I think letting them get into the building was too much of an issue. Although, more in my defense, I really would have liked to have had the Russian units give them a reason to leave, and then he exists, and you can just take the building back. But yeah, I think it's a little bit too cheesy of a tactic to use under these circumstances. And if you read the instructions or whatever right before your scenario, you'd know that you could, he doesn't have to reveal himself until you search or do anything. So you could just, you would come prepared. You would know to mop up in buildings, I think is the way to look at it. So he would have gotten spotted no matter what, I think. But yeah, other than that, fun scenario. I'm not sure if I am very curious as to how other results for the variable reinforcements would have gone. Um, One of the possibilities was an HMG, which isn't marked which one, so presumably it's the 612 that the Russians would get, rather than any of the 50 cal ones. Getting that on turn 2, throwing them into, J10, or trying to walk them into P9 or whatever. Like P9 still gets to see 2 buildings. 3, does he get to see this? Wow, he gets to see pretty much every building. So, it's not the best or whatever. You could also go through the tree line and just end up, somewhere in here. Just advance every turn you get, and then yeah, you could eventually crawl your way into better line of sight or better shots, better odds on effect. But yeah, no, interesting scenario. Definitely think that people should give it a try. Speaking of, I'm actually going to check to see what are the results on this one. People have played it, allegedly. Wow. How is that even possible? Roar 15-1 for the Finns on Roar is insane. On the ASL archive, it is a 5-3 ratio. Finns 5, Russians 3, which I think that's more indicative. What do we got here? Original design on this scenario had the Finns strong on the defense, attacking the Russians get 3 buildings easy, but must seize a 4th from the tenacious Finnish defenders. But errata on the HOB website changes the VCs so that now the Reds only need the 3 original buildings to win. This completely flips the whole concept of the scenario. Now, if few Finnish half squads are forced to go on the offense, is that really? Is there heat of battle errata? I need to look and see if I have heat of battle errata on my computer. Errata? I might not have heat of battle ASL scenarios. You know what? If I say errata. Errata. I might have to do web archive. Oh, please tell me that you have a earlier version of this website saved. Cool. All right, let's see if I can solve this right now. I have to admit, I would be very surprised if that's the errata for this scenario. Did I save that anywhere? I could have sworn I had it somewhere. Need a battle? Do I have the errata anywhere? Dang, that's gonna bug me because I would have. Oh, I forgot about the mandatory HSRs, but crew served weapons, which is basically what I did. Malfunction, sport weapons, you got to try and repair them every turn, which is, I just lost them, so it didn't matter. Same thing with the AFV mandatory repair. Can't, so I was doing that correctly. Didn't have anything to deal with battle hardening, so that wasn't a problem. Oh, I forgot about leaving the SMC counters off board until their thing is used, but honestly, it kind of feels weird, to be honest. Alright, where is do the SS ones? Cool. Tropic Thunder, Red Vengeance, Fortress Casino. Where the hell are the firefight? There we go, firefight. Tactical objective. Change 4 to 3 of the 5 buildings. So it was 3 of the 5 buildings. I don't understand why you would errata that one. That's too punishing for the Finns. the scenario card show FF-02. 2 units may set up hip. Variable Russian units. Yeah, I already have the OT-133 and the T-26 M33s. So yeah, the only change apparently in the errata is changing from Russians needing 4 buildings versus Russians needing 3 buildings versus 4. I think that's silly. Play the original scenario. I don't understand how in Roar the Finns won 15 times to 1. Either the Russian players, people playing with Russians, were very unlucky all the time, which maybe conscripts at 6 morale suck. Um, but the Finns really don't have the firepower to take any buildings that they lose, because they're all half squads. So if you feel like this scenario is too strong for the Finns, which I don't see how that's possible. Again, they have 2 squads versus 8. Put that into perspective here. Even if the Finns, any of their reinforcements outside of the 6 to 9 result that gives you 2 half squads, you only have a max of 2.5 squads versus 8, and technically 8.5 if you count the 127 crew, and you can get reinforcements. So I don't quite know how this was played consistently, where the Russians were always getting trounced. The most I could say or suggest is take out, like, I don't know, take out the 8-0 leader, I guess, or like one of the green half squads. But I don't see how they win this consistently, because they don't. You either have to pile everybody into the buildings to make sure you don't lose them, or you do something silly like I did, which is, you have them in the woods, and that way you can prevent moving into the buildings from the sides. So the Russian player is incentivized to take out the side sections first, or you go behind the tanks if you have them, and then you take the buildings. Um, but yeah, like, granted, if the ATR had popped either of the tanks, it's much worse. Like, it's much harder to do anything. I think no matter what, one of these tanks would have been successful. In this case, both of them were, which is fantastic for me. But once the Finns lose that building, like, I don't understand how they get it back. And if you reduce that building requirement to 3, I really don't understand where the Finns are supposed to go. Like, the only thing I could think of is, again, Hero and L6, and maybe you have like hip units in L4 and M4, or N4 and L4, and then you just bum rush them the first movement chance you get. I don't know. Anyways, that's the only thing I can think of for this scenario. I do think it's fun regardless. Like, it's very short, it's very approachable, and like I said, the variable unit stuff is fun. So I would recommend this scenario, and perhaps this will give people a little bit of will tickle their fancy in terms of how to modify a scenario, and like, what do you think is more important, or blah blah blah. Also, the scenario card on the archive is wrong. It puts the defenders as having 4 squads. They don't. They only have 2 squads. I think the archive, whoever did it, mistook the Finnish half squads for full squads. Either way, yeah, they don't have that firepower, so makes it a very tough defense. So until presumably next Monday, I should be back. Maybe I'll be back with Rob. If not, it'll be a solo night, and we will explore yet another one of either the skipped scenarios or a small scenario like tonight. So until then, have a lovely weekend, and if you celebrate Truth and Reconciliation Day, then I hope you do so in good company. Bye.